Orange Sky Audio presents The Hexed and the Hunted, Fairy Bargains, Book 3 by Melissa Marr. Narrated for you by Mandy Kaplan. Author's Notes. The term hillbilly mafia is not meant in a pejorative way. My mother was born in a holler. That's spelled Hollow, to those of you who aren't coming from barefoot roots like mine. And I grew up thinking everyone had a household gun supply and M80s to toss in the yard. I've been setting this up in earlier stories, with hints of Allie's background. I don't write about where I come from very often. There's both a lot broken and a lot beautiful in places like my home. The sections of the story in Scotland are based on actual places as well. One of the first things I did when I was a baby author with a royalty check was go to Orkney. I've been back to Scotland often since that trip, and there's nowhere I've been yet that's as lovely as Scotland. To the best of my knowledge, however, there are no magical artifacts buried there, and in the real world I would never disturb an archaeological site, especially because my kid is an archaeologist, and she's vaguely terrifying when it comes to people who have or are disrupting sites. Prologue. Late that night I slipped into bed with Eli. The dead were safely nestled back in their graves, and the Draugr I hadn't beheaded were vanished to their dens or nests, and Iggy had crawled back into whatever cave he lived with his antiquated notions. "How was work?" Eli murmured after kissing me hello. "Dead," I quipped. Eli, proving yet again that he was the one for me, smiled. "Indeed." I filled him in and then snuggled into his arms. I wasn't exactly sleepy, but tonight's magic had left me ready for rest. It was a bit alarming to suddenly need sleep, but that was another question for another week. Tonight was for pre-wedding snuggles. The next thing I knew, the magical alarm that let us know that Allie was here was blaring. It felt like only a moment after I fell asleep, but the light said it was the next morning. "Breakfast!" my assistant called as she let herself into the house. "Did you forget to lock the door?" I grumbled to Eli, pointedly not looking at him. I didn't do well with continuing to grumble when I looked at him. My beloved was almost painfully handsome. No human born was as striking as even the least of the Fae. Add ethereal beauty to a body that was temptation personified, and his baffling decision to choose me of all the far more worthy people in his world and in mine. Well, let's just say that's the only way I had ever resisted him, was by constantly avoiding or arguing with him. Now that I was fallen, it took more effort than my sleepy ass was willing to expend.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?